right. We're working on our next set of asanas, and so we are going to go right into the standing forward bends. And in the standing forward bends, a couple of key points of view are going to be the basic overview that they're calming, grounding, focused on the first and second chakras. They encourage reflection inward and releases the unconscious in hamstrings while developing strength and focus. And then we want to also go down into their energetic qualities, understanding the roots, the downward energy that increase connection to the earth and that it requires strength. And in that, you'll see there's 3 little points or 4 different bullet points underneath. And so be sure to read through those bullet points and then embody it within the practice when you practice the asana in and of itself. You'll notice release and balance unites knots of the unconscious, stretching back of legs and low back. And I just recognize I'm not sharing my screen, so I'm going to share my screen. All right. And then here we have, you'll see the pubic bone and tailbone draw together. And what I mean by that is you want to have this anterior tilt and you want to be able to like retroversion. You want to bring the hip flexors forward. You want to scoop the body forward so that way you have this opening and closing, almost this articulation of the spine. And they contract and they expand. And so when the pubic bone and the tailbone, it's just basically scooping the pelvic floor under is what it means. Surrender and listening are some other energetic qualities, as well as quietness brings the heart above the head, logical mind and subordinate to unconscious mind, inner self, calming, soothing, energetic combination. And then you want to know the modifications to all of the poses, to the variations of the poses. The Ayurvedic qualities of the standing forward folds. Vata is normally reduced, Pitta is normally reduced, and Kapha is enhanced. And then also any contraindications and any physical qualities, because if you want to look at the asanas and how we embody the asanas with anatomy, we want to look at the physical qualities within the practice so that we know how to adjust and adapt the posture for an ability that may be different so that it's more inclusive for that particular person, or that body may not necessarily benefit from this particular asana, but there's another one that offers same physical qualities that we can do instead, utilizing the tools that we have for our practice to adapt each of these poses, which we'll discover through the modifications and the tutorials that you'll see in the videos that are included for each of the asanas, so that there's more information and we learn a lot from our students. And so that way we understand when the muscles may release in the upper back and the shoulders and the spinal extensors. However, what is it also working with in the body? What is it strengthening? What is it toning? And so all of those physical qualities are part of the development of each of these asanas, which is going to guide us into the anatomical portion of the practice. So I'll see you in the next video. Take a look at each section of the asanas. We'll have here your homework. And the homework here is for standing forward bends. And you want to be sure to include your name and the date when you submit your videos and any of your writings, or you can do everything together in one. If you do your YouTube video, then in the description, you can actually put all of these questions in the description. So you write the question and then write the answer underneath the question, just copy paste it. And then that way you're creating your content for your future business if you haven't already started thinking about that. So that way we can start doing that. What are the four main overviews of the standing poses? We want to be cohesive and concise and consistent. You know what those are because we went over them in the basic overview. What is the relationship between the 7 energetic qualities and the 7 chakras and standing poses? And this, I want you to explain it in your own words and as though you were teaching it to a class or teaching it to as an educational tool. What are the Ayurvedic qualities of the standing forward poses, which are in the descriptions above? And we just went over them. And submit a short 5 to 10-minute video of you teaching each of the different standing poses and their modifications. Be sure to label the video, your name, underscore standing forward bend, whatever the pose is, and then Uttanasana, and then date. Okay. Choose 3 or more. Can also choose to combine it into a flow. So what I mean by that is you can do, instead of doing like one for each and every single one of them, which I want you to know you don't have to, but you can. If you're overachiever, go for it. It'll create more content for you as you're developing your own unique tutorial programs. And this is where I would say you can take 3 of them and dive into them. And then you can also take the same 3 and make a flow, or you can incorporate them into a flow that you might be creating as we're progressing towards the final set of asanas. So choose what you like to do. Keep that in mind as a little seed for thought. And I will see you all on our call or on the next video. Namaste and have a great day. Ciao.